No, I think we can go higher. Thanks.
Thought the valuation was higher. The VC's got to come harder than that.
Yeah, where the angels at?
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to a very special episode of Fung Bros Tech. Today we're in one of the main tech areas in New York City, and we're gonna be talking about an industry that a lot of our fans may not know that much about, but are really interested in and may even want to join. Tech startups. And you know that we could not talk about tech startups without actually a friend who runs a tech startup, Bob.
Oh, hold on. I gotta take care of some emails. What's up? I'm Bob Wu, founder and CEO of Teleport. Welcome to New York City. We're in the middle of Silicon Alley.
Wait, did you say Silicon Alley and not Silicon Valley?
That's right. This is New York City. We have our own Silicon Valley called Silicon Alley.
All right, you guys, just to provide some background, literally every app that you use on your phone or tech company probably started as a startup. So let's go.
Let me show you guys around. Come on.
This is the very stereotypical tech foosball table slash shuffleboard slash I don't know what it is.
Bob, I think we gotta talk about your outfit that you're wearing. You know you work at a startup because you get to wear whatever you want to work.
When you're in a startup, you are basically making up your own rules as you go.
On a scale of like pure entrepreneur to like corporate setting, where would you put startup?
A startup is basically here in the beginning as an entrepreneur, and they're making their way all the way to the corporate. So it just depends on the life of the startup.
It's like your mom and pop pizza chain, but eventually they want to become like, you know,
Domino's, Papa John's.
Have you guys ever heard of a little company called Apple? Or back in the day it was called Macintosh, headed by a guy named Steve Jobs, Mark Zuckerberg from Facebook.
Or a little startup called Google.
I feel like more recently though, the ones they're probably more familiar with are Uber, Tinder, Snapchat.
They all started like this or even worse. I mean, Mark started in his dorm room.
You know you're in the startup world when you just refer to Mark Zuckerberg as Mark. All right, Bob, you're saying I can grab as many of these drinks as I want.
Whatever helps you be more productive.
Let's go make it, guys. There are certain things that are like very startup like. This is another thing that I didn't know about is having Soylent around. I don't know what this is, Bob.
Seems like some mystery
Like
juice.
it's about to be some blue neon thing that pours out here. What is this?
This is for if you want all your daily nutrients all in one.
Oh snap.
Gotta get rich, gotta come up, gotta be the next Google. No time to eat, grab a Soylent.
David, we're gonna get some Soylent.
Yo, can I taste this?
Yeah, here, taste it.
All right, here I go, guys. I'm about to get my C++ on.
David, if you drink that, we have to call ourselves a startup now.
Yo,
I got an idea for an app.
Bob, your company Teleport is the first company in the whole world that's built on top of Uber's API, API. What does that mean?
It's an application program interface. And what that means is that we built on top of it in order to use their service along with our service. So what we do at Teleport is we allow you to have many Ubers from your mobile device. You can actually send out thousands of Uber cars simultaneously. How cool is that?
Yo, that's crazy, man. Look, this is not a sponsored video by Bob's company, to be honest, but it is cool to have a friend who legit has a startup. Okay, create account. Skip. You know, no one ever reads this. All right.
Bootleg slide.
What?
I'm gonna drag it into the satellite.
Whoa. That is fun. Connect Uber account.
Fung Bros. Okay, I say I'll do Andrew.
Whoa.
So all you do is click on that.
Okay. Clicking on that. Accept and select location. So you are about to send me a car.
I already sent you, a request, and if all you do is drop the pin where you are, and that's it.
But I don't have to accept it right now.
No.
So let's say our meeting is in 3 hours and I gotta go to that location. But I can go anywhere and I can go 3 miles away and then I'll choose to get picked up there and then go to your spot.
That's exactly it.
That is pretty interesting.
we gotta talk about the chairs. This is a staple right here.
It's important to be very comfortable if you're gonna be sitting down for 8 hours a day for the rest of your life. You wanna make sure you have very, very comfortable butt cheeks.
This is a very expensive tech startup chair. The chairs around the Fung Bros office, they're not quite like this. When we get up though, I know the first chair I'm buying. Dude, I'm locked in to build on some APIs. Bob, what do you think about David's impression of you?
Way too happy.
All right, so right now, Bob's gonna share with us 3 pieces of advice for starting a startup. And it doesn't have to be a tech company, it can be almost any company. What's your first point?
You want to make sure that idea is something you're passionate about. Steve Jobs said it best. He said, if you're not really passionate about it, one day you'll wake up and you'll be like, you know what, this is really hard, might as well quit. But if you really love it, you're gonna continue doing it for the rest of your life.
So you're saying do something that you're interested in, that you feel like is a point of pain or a thing in society that could be improved.
We started Teleport because we wanted to get closer to friends, and the best way to do that is to teleport them.
Were you at all inspired by Nightcrawler?
I love Nightcrawler, but it was more like Star Trek.
Beat me up, Scott.
Being me. Point 2, you're gonna start a new company, make sure that you start it with someone that you like working with. You're gonna have a long company history. You wanna work with someone that you're friends with, that you've worked with before. You don't want 2 business guys. You don't want 2 developers. You wanna mix different skill sets so that you can be successful.
What role do you play?
So I'm the business guy. My co-founder, Victor, over there.
What's up, guys?
He's the back-end developer.
So Victor's got the technical skills, Bob, you've got the business skills. Together, that should create a bond.
Yeah, it should be harmony right there.
Synergy. Point number 3.
It's really important to realize that it's a lot of work. It seems like it's fun. I'm wearing fun clothes, we're drinking Soylent, and you're creating a fun app. The reality is though, you're putting in a lot of hours. You don't have flexible vacation because you're always thinking about your company on vacation. And your friends don't see you that much because you're always working. You have to get in it for the right reasons. You have to be willing to put in the work.
What you're saying, Bob, compared to working for, let's say, a very large Fortune 500 company, they're gonna have more happy hours and mixers and company structure. Obviously in a startup, it's more just everyone's like really just working on the core issue.
It's constantly up and down. You have good days, you have bad days. You don't know if you're gonna be a company in a year. You don't know if you're gonna still have a job.
Kind of comparing what we do as an independent YouTube channel, comparing to something like BuzzFeed, where they have a lot of creators, but they kind of clock in and out. They can stop thinking about work. But for me and David, we can potentially always be thinking about making more videos, running our channel, growing it all the time. You're never not working. All right, so what's one regret that you have about your startup?
My biggest regret is that we should have tested everything as soon as possible, put it out into the wild, get feedback, but in the easiest possible way without building any technology.
Would you say it's kind of like the Asian parent who's like, I should not have sheltered my son? You were being an Asian parent with Teleport. So test your idea before it's perfected.
Test your idea even before you build it.
All right, Bob, we know that the tech world is so vast, there's so much depth to it. Obviously, we just scratched the surface of running a tech startup today, but one thing I did want to do for the audience was to recap some of the terms.
So, real quick to review the terms, startup.
It's a brand new company that you start from this ground up.
What about VC?
Venture capital. It's a fund that invests in startups, make sure that they get the money so they can grow their business.
But then those people from the venture capitalists, they own a part of your company, right?
That's right.
Angel investor.
Yeah, angel investor is sort of like the mini VC. It's the first check that you get. It's from an individual that has a lot of money, may not do a lot of due diligence, but believes in the entrepreneur.
What does API stand for?
Application Program Interface.
Soylent.
Look it up online where the origins come from, but it's a tech startup that basically provides nutritious beverages so developers can get all the nutrition with just one drink.
Dog, that is crazy that they developed a drink for developers.
But their whole mission basically is to provide food for the entire world.
There are chairs in this office right now that cost over $1,000. What is a Aeron chair?
The most functional piece of any office starts with the chair. People spend 8 hours a day sitting in that chair for the rest of their lives, so it has to be the most comfortable, ergonomic design possible.
Is that pretty much just what your developers need?
You need a MacBook Pro, almost guaranteed, because you need to have the processing power for your code. And so
And you also need to look cool.
that's not as important.
But it is true that as we've been here, almost everything's an iMac or MacBook Pro or like a monitor hooked up to a Mac.
Yep.
Do you need whiteboards?
So whiteboards are great for discussing strategy, business, looking at things from a bigger sort of landscape. So whiteboards are really helpful.
What do you think it is about the whiteboard over like having gigantic computer screens? Like, is there something still about writing something on the wall that like connects the ideas back to the Leonardo da Vinci days?
I think that if this was sort of all digital, it'd be great, except it's a lot more expensive.
Oh, okay.
And this is really cheap. Remember, I think the one thing that you take away is that you want to keep costs low because you're a startup. You don't have a lot of money. All the things that you see today are necessary.
Yo, I think that there's something so dope about tech startups because a lot of systems need to be shaken up. People have gotten lazy, they're not really trying to innovate, but tech is able to come in there, especially the sharing economy, and just shake up the system.
You know, I always thought that people who went into startups were like really brave, courageous nerds. You're going in there, it's risky. You get to wear what you want. You get to talk how you want around the office, but you got to get your work done.
Maybe you're not in tech, maybe you're not a developer, and you're like, wow, I want to be in tech. Most of the companies that you see today have very little to do with tech originally. You don't have to be a developer in order to be a tech entrepreneur.
All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining us on that episode of Fung Bros Tech. Number one, make sure you let us know in the comment section below what's a question that you have about tech startups. Number two, what's a cool idea you have for a disrupting app.
And number three, in the comments below, let us also know what your favorite tech startup is right now that we should hear about. All right, everybody, thank you for watching that video, and until next time, we out.
Peace.
Thank you, Fung Bros, for coming. Remember to check out our website, teleportapp.co, no M, so .co.
Yo, thank you, Bob, for letting us into your office or your shared space or whatever you want to call it. I think we learned a lot. What are the other cities that are also really big for tech right now?
Right now, obviously San Francisco, LA, and Boston, and Seattle.
Wow. Oh, and by the way, we know Bob because we met him back when we lived in LA.
626.
626, and we were playing basketball.
That's right.
Hey, basketball is networking. All right, you want to go hoop later?
Let's do it.
All right.